Dear friends, sorry that I cannot be with you today in Helsinki, but maybe a short tribune to you. ENTSO-E, I said, you have just been fantastic. In only 10 years, with your help, we have been able to do a gigantic step forward in the internal electricity market. When I see the little which had been achieved between 1996 and let's say 1916, and then what we have achieved the last 4 or 5 years with your help on the 10-year development plans for the hardware, and then of course even maybe more with the grid codes and the whole software on making this electricity flow over the borders. Not everything is perfect yet, but I think on the internal market it's a lot of what we as policymakers decided has been made possible successfully thanks to you. But, and you probably have already expected that, I have another call on you. We need you for another, I think, as big or even more important gigantic step. That's the step on how do we win against climate change. And that means we have to go to 100% renewable electricity system as soon as possible. So science, IPCC, the scientists tell us we have 10 years between now and 2030 to halve the global CO2 emissions. What does that mean for Europe? For Europe that means 55–60% reduction, because at global level we do not only have, or Paris in the agreement does have a scientific part, but it has also an equity part, and it's clear industrialized countries like the European continent will have to do more. How the hell can we achieve that? I think the whole energy system will go electric. We will drive electric cars, vans. I think we will soon see electric trucks. A big challenge also for the grid system. We will see heat pumps more and more to replace gas and oil boilers. So the system, the whole energy system will go electric. I don't expect an extreme raise in the volumes of electricity, but the peaks will go up. And then, of course, all this makes only sense if we have renewable electricity who provides it. It will be solar, a lot of distributed solar, where the challenge is how do we organize the balancing of the energy system between distribution companies and transmission companies. So we need to rethink our whole arrangements I think we have today on balancing. That's challenging for you. The other challenge is how do we bring above all the gigantic quantities of offshore wind to the continental demand centers. So offshore wind, we have something like 20–25 gigawatt today. We will need 400 gigawatt plus in 2040, 2045. It's not my pledge, it's what European Commission has in its 2050 net zero roadmap. So that means we need maritime spatial planning, but we need now studies to show how these gigantic quantities of electricity can all be absorbed and digested in the Western European or in the European grid. And if we have bottlenecks, then we must probably put some electrolyzers and make some big green hydrogen in Rotterdam, in Hamburg, or in the coast where we land and transform this into green gas. So I think that's the bigger picture. And the question I have to you, and maybe that you could take some time to discuss this. Personally, I think that doing another 10-year development plan, plus another 10-year development plan, plus another one, so 3 more plans until 2050 is not a solution. We should, and that is my call to you as ENTSO-E, we need now the grid for the end game. The end game is 100% renewable with huge amount of onshore wind, even much bigger quantities of offshore wind, a lot of distributed solar. So what is the grid for Europe in this 100% scenario. And that is what you have to do now. And that is what we need as policymakers, and not 2 or 3 10-year development plans which develop only this in an incremental way. We need now to understand what is the end game. So thank you very much. Hope that I have given you some difficult questions to discuss with some, I don't know what is the favorite drink. Probably there's some beer in Finland, probably and hopefully also some vodka. So enjoy your event, and congratulations for the 10 years.